Hey, it's Bilal, and this is Deep Sea, a podcast about seeing the world more deeply. I'm a huge fan of Oscar Wilde. He was a 19th century Irish poet and playwright, and is perhaps the most quoted artist aside from Shakespeare. It helps that he was incredibly witty, but it's the honesty and truth behind the quotes that have made them endure. So, in this podcast, I'm going to share some of his best. Starting with quotes relating to the self, here goes. Be yourself, everyone else has already taken. I can resist everything except temptation. I love talking about nothing, it's the only thing I know anything about. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. And I like this one in particular. What is fashion? From the artistic point of view, it's usually a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Now, Oscar Wilde was particularly insightful on relationships, and so some of these quotes really go to the heart of things. Here's one. Between men and women, there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. Never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. Men always want to be a woman's first love. Women like to be a man's last romance. And here's quite a funny one now. To speak frankly, I'm not in favor of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable. Now, Oscar Wilde talking about other people. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. And here's a good one. When people agree with me, I always feel that I must be wrong. Now here's a few quotes on growing up. Children begin by loving their parents. After a time they judge them. Rarely, if ever, do they forgive them. I'm not young enough to know everything. Education is an admirable thing, but it's well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. And finally, Oscar Wilde had a lot to say on morality. And here are a few quotes on the topic. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. I don't want to go to heaven, none of my friends are there. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. It's absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. So there you go. That's a small selection of his quotes. I have a larger selection in a blog I wrote. The link for that you can find in my show notes. So thanks for listening. Please tell a friend about the podcast. Leave a rating on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you go for your podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BilalHafiz123. That's @BilalHafiz123. You can also follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or on my personal blog, bilalhafiz.com. I'll be back soon, so tune in then.